Hi, this is Kim with the My Sexy Business Team. I'm here today, this beautiful Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to everyone who's here in the U.S. It's a weekend of remembering. It's a weekend of, being reminded of all the differences that people have made in the world. And I'm here with my sweet friend and fearless compadre that is changing the world herself, Miss Coni Meyers. She is the founder of the Crystalline Moment Success Movement. Yes, movement. And she owns a publishing company. She is doing all kinds of amazing things. She's a 4 times best-selling author, and I could go on, but I will just tell you she's awesome sauce. Welcome, Miss Coni, to the My Sexy Business Team today.
It's so great to be here with you, Kim. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Well, I wanted you to have a conversation with me. We just got off of an incredible Zoom meeting in the club that we have, the My Sexy Business Club, and the club is an amazing place to collaborate and to do things together. And just I'm always in awe when we get through with something in the club because of the things that happen in there. But it just brings up a lot of amazing things that are revolving around this weekend. And we've been talking about this topic for a while. You and I have privately been talking about this topic for a while, and that is, are you making a difference in the world? Are you just, getting by in life? Or are you really making a difference in the world? Because we don't have an excuse. We don't have an excuse that we are not making a difference, because it's very simple to make a difference. Can you kind of help everyone listening understand what we're talking about? Like, what kind of difference we're talking about?
Well, I like to refer to it as our legacy. We all have some kind of a legacy we're going to leave behind. And it's our choice whether or not it's a legacy that's going to make a difference, or we can just leave this world and not be really even be remembered, because our legacy, our entire life is like a book. And I'm sure many people have heard this before. It's like a book. And every single day we're writing a chapter in that book. But what is that final chapter going to look like? And what is it that people are going to say about us when we're gone? Mm. And what I really like to say is that really our legacy, our final chapter, is really the story about our why. Why were we put on this earth in the first place? So I really feel that, and this is a perfect day to be having this conversation. I really believe that.
Oh, I so agree. There's so many people that have left this life right now and have preceded us, and I think that it's amazing to look back over our whys before we get to the last chapter. Look Absolutely. Over our whys now, because we have so many things that we can make a difference by just being kind, or by helping someone, or collaborating with someone, or doing so many little things that we think are such a time waster. We don't have enough time for that. And the truth is, it's very much good seed sown. It's something that, we don't want to get to the end of our life and basically no one be crying at our funeral because we were mean and we were, well, I'm being real. I'm sorry. This
don't live our life best. We have to live our life best, whatever that looks like,
We actually do an annual video in October where I actually go to the cemetery and video there, because the question I always ask is, where are the most dreams? And people are thinking, in kids or in whatever. But the truth is, they're in the cemetery, because most people never go on and do what they dream about. And we are all about, that's one of the things that our why is. We're here to help you create Sexy Businesses for Sexy Lives, because we want you to enjoy your life. We want you to have a great legacy to leave.
Well,
And
and don't you think it's also true that so many people, they have dreams, but they don't know how to step into those dreams?
mhm,
And so the dreams kind of get put into the spirit and the energy of the cemetery because they're still unresolved dreams. And I think if we can realize that we all have a vision, we all have a dream, and a reason why we were put on this earth, and it's really our responsibility to make sure we figure that out. And many people don't even take time to think of it. Some people absolutely live their passion. Like I met two people this last week that totally are living their vision I had never met before. And at the same time, there's so many people that are still out there, not really, not first of all, not thinking about what their why is, what their purpose is, and second of all, not even having a clue how to step into it. So I could totally see a video at a cemetery being the perfect place.
well, it's kind of creepy, some people say, but I think it's just a good visual aid. I'm very visual, and I think it's a good visual aid to remember if we're not moving forward, we're moving backward. There is
Absolutely.
no.
Absolutely.
We have it in our mind. We're just going to wait a minute to do something. But the truth is, if we're not moving forward, we are moving backward. And so I think that this Memorial Day weekend, we need to honor like all of those that preceded us. And I'm thankful if you are a vet, if you are someone who has served our country, if you're someone who has, made a difference in this world, we are sending out, honor to you today, because
Absolutely.
we're thankful.
Absolutely.
We're thankful and we're grateful for the relationships. We're grateful for the difference everyone has made. And, I want to say on this special weekend, we all have people that we, visit at the cemetery or that we talk about over this weekend, because it is a day to remember. A memorial is something that they just are remembered. And I want everyone to think about, how will you be remembered? Like, I think that's really important. How do you want to be remembered? Because if you're still breathing, you've got time. You've got time to figure that out. I don't want to be at the end of my life and people forget me, or people think of me in a different way than what I intended. I think that living congruently with your why, a lot of that has to do with how you live your whole life, but it's never too late. I think that's a really important message.
Well, I think that's a really good point, Kim, because we're not going to live our life always in the way that we should be living them. But at the same time, if we recognize how we're supposed to be living, or who we really are and what our purpose is, and we try to live up to it as much as we possibly can, that's all that anybody can ask. I have a question for you.
Okay.
We all have people in our past that we really remember, especially this day, this weekend. And so the people that have passed before you, who in your past who's gone has had the most influence on who you are today?
The funny thing is, you would think it would be someone older than me, or someone, that was a grown up. But I will tell you, my son, who passed away almost 17 years ago, had the most impact on me, and still has an impact on me, because he was one of the kindest, gentlest, wisest, almost 14-year-olds there was ever, like, on this planet. He lived all of his life in those short, almost 14 years. And he's the reason he opened up a can of worms. His death caused me to break open and have a bigger capacity to love people, and a bigger capacity to do the things that I do today. And so by far, he's the biggest influence in me leaving a legacy now to everyone else. His legacy influenced me so greatly that it changed me forever.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that, but I wanted others to hear the story. So I knew the answer before I asked the question. But I think it's important for people to understand that it doesn't have to be somebody older, and what an influence they can have on your life. For me, my mom passing. My mom taught me on the farm in Nebraska while she was driving tractors and butchering chickens and making pies and cleaning house that you could be anything that you want to be.
Mm.
But my husband passing took me out of the life I thought I was supposed to be living. And just like you, it broke me open. It broke me open to who I am today and my work that I do today. And I think those two people really, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I wouldn't have an understanding, just like you wouldn't have had an understanding if you hadn't lost your son. And so I think it's important for us to recognize those people in our lives that have broke us open, that have made a difference in our lives. Because I know you and I feel very strongly about the people in our past that took us down this road that got us together, for goodness sake.
Yeah, I agree. I so agree. And we just want to make sure everybody listening is knows that we care and that we understand that sometimes this weekend brings up hard times. It can bring up grieving. It can bring up, emotions that you might surprise you. And we want you to know that you're not alone in that. We understand the getting blindsided. I know that one Mother's Day, just out of the blue, I had a complete meltdown because of my son passing away. And it was after I had been doing what I thought was really well. And so sometimes that just happens, and we don't want anyone to feel alone this weekend or, not know that there are people here that care about you.
Absolutely.
And we want you to spend time celebrating them. Honor them, honor the ones that preceded you by celebrating them. Celebrate their passing and celebrate the legacy that they left instead of just looking at the sad side.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think the most important thing to do, and I'm here at my son's house, and we had a conversation last night about Tom. And we were remembering the really fun times. I think if you can celebrate those fun times and have that memory be something that is, if it's fun and joyful, and being able to laugh about it. Anytime you can replace a sad thought with something that is a great remembrance, that's a huge gift.
Yeah.
And it's a huge way of honoring those people that we've lost.
Well, we don't want to take up any more time on people's weekends, but we really felt, Ms. Coni and I both felt the need to just share today that, celebrate, have a great weekend, and remember people, remember the ones that passed in a great way. So we hope that you understand how to leave a great legacy. If not, keep following us. We'll help you understand.
Exactly.
Thank you, Miss Coni Meyers, for coming on this Memorial Day weekend and spending time with me, not only in the club, but here live also.
Well, thank you, Kim White, for being my dear friend and my cohort in crime. And I love being a part of your life, and thank you so much.
Oh, I love you. And we love all of you guys that are watching and that follow us. We appreciate everyone who follows us. So we will see you soon. Hopefully you'll have a great weekend, and we will see you next week when the holidays are over. Love you guys. This is Kim White with the My Sexy Business Team, and we'll see you soon.